All right, everyone, welcome in.
We don't have a Ryder Cup background, but we do have a President's Cup. It's pretty close. I'll make one before we get there this week. Welcome in. Yeah, no golf this week, but we still got stuff to talk about.
Yeah, Tommy got over the line.
Short after. What a weird. I tweeted it too. I'm like, because somebody had joked about it. I'm like, God, I almost got to bet that, just because wouldn't that be the wildest place for him to win? And I don't want to hear it from. And I'm the first person to disqualify somebody, because I love doing that. I love raining on people's parades just a little bit. People are like, oh, small field. Yeah, it's a small field that had Scotty and Rory and 20 of the other best golfers in the world, and Jacob B. I mean, it's not as if this was some. Well, he won the Barracuda or something random. This is a small field, but it's still the best in the world, man. Everyone but Xander and the live guys. All right, fuck it. It's not a real win.
Also, live clean in place.
That's people were. It's one thing if it's one round. It was the whole thing. Like that. I mean, everybody. It's a level playing field. Everybody gets
Correct.
So
I don't. It's tongue in cheek.
Kind of weird. It's still kind of weird that the whole tournament was played like that.
They took on a pretty decent amount of rain, and thunderstorms popping up all over the place. So, yeah, I mean, I could not be
fight the mud balls.
Oh yeah, could not be happier for Tommy. That's like nothing these days feels like universally agreed upon, right? Like just contrarian nature of people to begin with, and then just like there's just always strong sides against something, and it just feels like the Tommy win for anyone who gives even a little bit about the professional game of golf, players alike. Like it was very easy to celebrate. As a dad, he is an electric clip to listen to.
Didn't celebrate it with him.
Oh, shut up!
That dickhead that went to the U.S. Open instead.
So what?
I didn't love that. I mean, you love. No, but are you serious? Are you seriously like not a little?
He probably had that set up ahead of time, weeks ahead of time.
Oh, but it feels like the U.S. Open is 2 weeks long. This is Tommy's maiden win. You're a month out from the Cup. He's your teammate. He's your friend. Rosie didn't go to the U.S. Open. I'm just saying that it didn't look great because of all the, hey, Rory doesn't give interviews and Rory sped off in his car on Netflix. Like, he needs to nail the end of a golf tournament one of these times, one of the ones he doesn't win. And he needed to be there to give. It's not like a huge deal. I'm just like, not the best optics.
It's so unfair, though.
No, it was
not. Scotty?
Scotty's not his Ryder Cup teamate. These guys are Euros. They've played together. Especially
with Fitz.
Rosie, how much, every other post was just like if Justin Rose and Tommy Fleetwood weren't married, they'd be 100% flatmates in like South London, just like hanging out all day long, in love with each other. Just, I'm just saying, Rose was so, making such a big deal about it, and Rory's, 1,000 miles away already watching tennis. I don't give a shit. I'm a bad
vacation together.
You kick Rory off the Cup team for this.
They were teammates in the opening round last year. I'm sure they'll be teammates again.
And I'm thinking back to the 2023 Canadian Open, 2024 Canadian Open, where during the playoff, all the UK guys were following him around, and then the Canadian contingent following Nick around during the playoff. Like, there is something to be said for supporting your countrymen and stuff like that. I'm just saying it was bad optics for I'm never gonna miss an opportunity to besmirch the hard nippled Northern Irish or Northern.
What's funny to me is that Irishman. Rory is such a willing quote. He's always steps up to the mic, right? And the couple of times he doesn't, it's like we vilify him for life for sitting out. I
complained
the PGA
about
championship.
It too. When the live split first happened, I complained so much. I'm like, is Rory ever going to shut up?
Mm-hmm.
And then now it's like, well, does this guy give interviews anymore? Is he ever going to talk to the media? It's just whatever. It's like the joke the old woman tells. the mom in Goodfellas when they go eat with her at like midnight after they kill Billy Bats. Oh, you're always talking. It's much prettier in Italian though. Yeah, Rory can't win. Rory can't win with me. Tommy couldn't win. Now he did. Awesome. Really, really cool moment for him. And it's not like he was hurting for money, but geez, what a time to grab the winner's share of a purse. And it's funny, people did. I knew they would. People did put out the leaderboard if we were using the starting strokes again, and lo and behold, the guy who would have started at 10 under would have won the tournament again. So I'm glad they've gone to this format. It makes for a better tournament. I still don't like East Lake that much.
I think the renovations are better.
Maybe it was the preferred lives all week that kind of just made it seem a little toothless. But
I like a finishing stretch like that.
I'd like to see it move around though.
Yeah, that's fair. And well, look, I mean, I don't know if you caught any of the Brian Rolap presser, which is, I don't think we should lock in anything being, permanent at this point, right? Like
1,000 times more likable too than
sure
his soon-to-be predecessor.
Yeah. That's easy though, right? Like
real low bar for him.
There. Not even to the low bar. It's just like, like historically, how many commissioners in your lifetime have had like an overwhelming, like pro sentiment? Like very few, right? It's just they're, whipping boys for any problems in the league. So I'm not saying that Jay Monahan is, landed the plane well with all sorts of different things, but like probably a pretty tough job. But seems like a Rolap is definitely listening to fans, listening to sponsors, listening to players, listening to low-level players, his elite players. Feels like in terms of schedule stuff, and it feels like a lot of stuff is going to change over the next 5 years. So, I mean, I thought East Lake showed well. I think the renovation from Andrew Green a couple years ago is a significant upgrade, and some of the rerouting. And I like a challenging finishing stretch, and not even like I like volatility, right? So 15 was really interesting with the way that they presented this week. They moved the tee back to one day. They shaved the runoffs around the green. So like that became really challenging. When you have a finishing hole that can create eagle opportunities, right? I think you either want like a scoreable par 5 or a really, really difficult par 4 to finish. I think it makes for really entertaining finishes.
The best closing stretches have at least one hole where you can get in trouble, even if you're not being aggressive.
Correct.
Where you have to make a shot. And then, like you said, a hole where somebody can try to catch up. And I love risk reward just in general, but at the end of a round, at the end of a tournament, if there's a hole where it's like, hey, they got to shoot, they got to take a 3 here. It's the time for uncontested layups is over. You have to shoot a deep 3 here, even if someone's hands your face, because that's where we're at. And truthfully, like it's not a good course whatsoever, but 3M, like I'll always love the closing stretch of that, because you have a par 3 with the whole thing is forced carry over water. And then you have a par 5 where if you really want and you really piss drive that drive, you can go for it in 2, but the entire green is behind a huge ass pond. And I've seen plenty of people dunk that, where it's like, hey, do you need to catch up? Well, here's your chance. Do you want to get 1st or 5th kind of thing? Are you willing to do that? And I mean, you're right. There is some nice closing holes to it. I get so bummed out about preferred lies. It's, the whole argument about rolling it back and how good these guys are. It's like, man, if we let them do that with every second shot, just there's going to be no flyers. There's going to be nothing. They're all going to look so good, and especially when you have the best in the world like we do for the Tour Championship.
Yeah, I mean, they probably wouldn't be excited about it, and then the membership probably wouldn't either. You pop that bad boy right ahead of the Masters. Everyone's already still down there versus the Valero. You might get a decent field still. You probably have to go overseed in Georgia. At that point in the year. But anyway, the Tour Championship I thought was, the ratings came out this morning. That went very well. It's just kind of an ascending spot. So really, I think a very, very good PGA Tour season overall. Like we're gonna do mostly Ryder Cup here, but I thought, a few like getting over the hump situations. Rory finally at the Masters. Is Cam Young ever gonna win? Cam Young wins. Is Tommy ever gonna win? He wins. I thought it was a really good.
Who's highest on that list now of who's gonna win?
In terms of like money, or
I think it was like most top 10s without a win now, because that was the big stat. There's a million ways, like most money, most top 20s, most starts without a win. I think it was Keith.
Keith has a win, didn't he? Keith won the Honda.
Maybe. Okay, God, who was it then? It wasn't Kelly Keith.
Denny's first on one of the list. Okay,
Denny. It was. Sorry, I mixed up Denny and Keith Mitchell. Yeah. Thanks for the correction there. Which is not nearly as exciting as Cam or Tommy, but I guess we'll cheer for Denny.
Yeah. I bet Denny a couple times this year, but yeah, I think it was a good season. Like, I don't know. I looked at that top 10 of the leaderboard there, the Tour Championship. There was a Euro at the top, and then a whole lot of red, white, and blue right behind it. And I know you and I were, not alone in the sentiment of like, why are the Euros where they are on the odds board for the Ryder Cup? But very, very fascinating to see how the U.S. team closed, depending on who's on this team. And that's really what we want to do today, is kind of talk through.
It's down, and it has been bet down over the last couple months. A lot of places are hanging plus 130 where you could have got 145 or better, not that long ago. So little money coming in on the Euros. And honestly, I don't think the Euro team is as exciting to speculate on. It feels a lot more in pen than the U.S. team. And I've had a hard time moving the 11 and 12 spots out to put somebody else in. It feels almost certain that we know that they're basically running it back just with a different Højgaard.
Feels like that's just what it is, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, let's we'll pop this up here on the screen. Excuse me. We had basically with Højgaard qualifying on points, Rasmus is in and locked in.
A 1v1 swap for Højgaard. Yeah. And really, we don't have a, some of these guys that have qualified for the U.S. on points in the years past where it's like, man, this guy might be borderline to pick him as a captain's pick, but he won a big event and stuff.
Well, even in Rome.
No, I'm saying it seems to happen to us all the time, whereas all these guys were making it. Like, you're not leaving Rosie off, you're not leaving Bobby Mack, you're not any of these guys. They were going to make it anyway. So they don't have a weird spot like that where they have to take. I don't actually like automatically qualifying for a Ryder Cup. Maybe like top 2 or top 3. I think 6 is too much. I love the captain's picks. That's my favorite part of it, is someone choosing who's going to be on the team. So yeah, Hatton's going. And then Shane is like 12th on a lot of lists, but man, it feels really weird to even consider him not being on.
Yeah, it's just this is like straight off of their points list, I think, and then it's Rahm, obviously, right? So it's just their top 11 in points, and Rahm, you make the case like, I think the guys like obviously the other Højgaard, right? Nikolai could be. These are the discussions if Rasmus was not on for points, but now I think it's pretty hard to. You basically, whether it's Lowry or Fitz, I guess you would make the case would be the last 2 on the back end in terms of captain's picks, but I can't see a scenario where they don't run back a very successful team from Rome to put on Harry Hall, Marco Page, Aaron Rye.
Love Harry Hall. I think, in another world, if some of these other names weren't successful or had so much experience like Shane, he's on this team. Like, he is an electric number 13 for me.
For sure. I think if Rasmus doesn't make it on points, then Harry Hall is a really strong case.
Yeah, if Rasmus is sitting 8th in points and, Shane had qualified or Sepp or Luda, then, you're probably right. And that's what I'm saying. I'd rather see more captain's picks than automatic qualifiers because Harry Hall's been playing really good, and it stinks. He's going to have to just keep playing well, and he'll be on the team in 2. God, where is it in 2 years?
Ireland.
It is up in Iowa. I was going to say it's a UK course coming up. So, no, that's super fun. But yeah, it is. And for anyone who can't see, it is Rory, it is Tommy, it is Justin, it is Rasmus, this is Hatton and Bobby Mack automatic qualifying. And then, Fleetwood, Ludwig, Hovland, Sepp, Fitzpatrick. That is those are your next 5 in order of numbers. And then you're not leaving John Rahm at home. He is the live individual champion. And it's John Rahm. How many of these has he played now? This will be his 4th team, I think.
Yeah, he's not. Rahm's fine. Yeah, he's on the team. So, yeah, it's interesting. Back end for sure. Some guys that I think Harry Hall is probably the most deserving.
There were moments for this Rye. There's moments early in the season where
Rye combination of course fit and everything that you would ask for to it. Yeah, you would think the bomb and putting, which is a pretty solid point of Harry Hall's game. The American team is significantly more volatile and fascinating. What do you make of the Keegan quotes coming out of the President's Cup? I'm sorry, coming out of the Tour Championship FedEx Cup final.
It made me feel like they're gonna hose Ben Griffin.
So which
I would hate for our team. But no, the US team, the automatic qualifiers are Scotty, Spawn, Xander, Bryson, Harry English, and Russell Henley. You can do a lot worse, obviously. Depends how you feel about Spawn. He's
a killer. What are we talking about? He's been awesome.
He's been awesome, but we just haven't seen him in this kind of event.
He'd be a mistake. Like I don't think this is I get what you're saying. The pedigree's not as deep.
No, I don't think you haven't seen it. It's different. It's different playing for somebody else's fate is on your putter. It just feels different
for sure.
And so, some people do not handle that as well as they do just being a killer who makes 60-foot putts to win major championships. But I mean, he's played so good. It's hard to say that's I wish he hadn't automatically qualified. He's one of the top 10 golfers in the US right now. So it's a pretty solid top 6. JT, despite everything, JT won an event this year. JT has played well at times. The putting is come and gone, but he still has a ton of experience. There's no world where I would ever leave him at home. And then your next 5 in points are Colin, Ben Griffin, Mav McNeely, Keegan Bradley, and Brian Harmon, which feels weird. There was a report from a reporter from the Telegraph today who said Keegan will be picking himself. The next 3 after Harmon are Novak, Young, Cantlay, and then Burns, which is another name. Feels like the people who are pro Burns, the only case they can make is because it's his playing partner. He likes to, they like to play together. And, I think there's a lot of guys who could play well with Scotty Scheffler, and there's a lot of guys in this team that probably do pretty well with him in 4 balls and foursomes. So,
also after what we saw at the President's Cup with how well the Henley Scotty team played, I think it would be a mistake for Keegan to move off of Scotty and Henley. Right, like Russ is going to pound it in the fairway, and it doesn't matter that he's short because he's going to leave the best golfer in the world, the best iron player in the world, whatever, 2 something in with an eye just from the fairway. So it's such a perfect pairing. So here's what I got for you. I think we got the 6.
Explain to people when these points start too. So these points go back.
Yes. So it's a 2-year weighted system. The current year weighted more, majors weighted more. So that's why you get Bryson in on points, and only playing 8 events.
8 events, yeah.
But winning a major championship is pretty powerful. So other good strong finishes.
4 other top 10s. I mean, he had a bunch of really high finishes at all the majors.
Yeah, so he's locked in there. So, and deservedly so. I mean, we should be taking Bryson regardless. So I'm glad that that's not even something that we have to worry about.
Again, an amazing course fit for Bethpage Black.
Yeah, and
I think it's probably going to play like a 67 AM.
Fascinating to see how they pair him. And are they sending him out? Is he out in every match? Which I think he should be. He should be playing 5 times. So be interested to see how they kind of approach that too, and who these guys are, how often they're playing. Now we did get the schedule too. We are starting with alternate shot, which I think is really interesting. That's another reason that I do think that we do see Keegan, because I think that lends itself more to Keegan playing in the afternoon on Friday. Gives himself, a sense of time to see the team in the morning, get a sense of what's going on. What are their in pencil pairings for the afternoon, how they want to switch that up. How do they want to kind of, use any Friday morning info to make Saturday decisions. I'm sure, again, they have, all these different pairings in pencil. How do they move it? Who's kind of on the bubble based off of how they play, all those different decisions. So we kind of go back to the discussion that when this originally happened is, what is the role of a captain? How challenging is that in terms of being able to do that or do a part of that role with your vice captains at the same time as getting your golf game ready to go out and compete? What does that look like mentally? My concern is that Keegan is such an emotional player. He's going to be, I think, such a rah captain, right? Like you're going to see, he wears it on his sleeve. So when his guys make a putt.
The biggest issue is there's no one that has more media obligations during and before and after than the captain. And if he plays poorly, then he's going to go out there and, I don't know what those interviews are going to look like, but it's going to be very kind of just negative vibes all around, because he's going to have to go out there and explain, hey, I put myself in this team and I just went and lost, 5-4. And, I think it was still the right move. It's just the second guessing from the media. If he has one bad session, it's going to suck, because he has to get up there and explain it not only as a player, but as the guy who picked himself as a player. So it feels like a force multiplier both ways. If he does well,
correct.
Look how fucking smart I am. Wicked
what a
smart.
Sick.
What a sick gambit. I took Luke and I draw forward his ass. But if he plays bad, it's the same thing, negative. There's no neutral here. It is, oh my God, I picked myself and I'm not ready for everything that comes with this. Granted, so there's co-captains. A lot of this stuff is done way ahead of time. Once you pick your team, it's not like you're penciling these teams together the day before. You have a month, man. Like a lot of the work is done ahead of time. And, he's going to work with some of the guys out at the Pro Core and maybe make some final adjustments there as well. But I think it's fine. I just worry that if it goes bad, it's going to just really drag the mood down. I put myself in their shoes, and I didn't put myself in like Scotty's shoes. I put myself in like a lower level, like a Mav or Ben. And I'm kind of thinking about that. Hey, this is our chance. Some of these guys are going to be like first timers. Some of these guys that, maybe this is the only one I ever make. I don't know. I'm borderline. There's so many good players from like 5 to 25. There's young players coming up. Like you worry about that. Like if he does that and he plays badly, it's really hard. It's just the human condition to be like, it's fine. Like he knew what he was doing. I'd be like, fuck, it'd be great right now. Like whoever he left, whichever one he left at home, doesn't matter. You'd be great right now. Burns.
He said that. He said he didn't know. Like they asked him, are you locked in? No. And he said straight up, like, no matter what I do, it's going to be very easy to second guess my decisions. I could have very easily made a different decision that could have easily be the right decision, because there are some guys that have stepped up and have become viable options to make this team. He's getting a ton of pressure, it sounds like, from his vice captains, from the guys that are locked in that want him on this team. They want him inside the ropes. They want him playing. And I think it is more so than I thought maybe a week or two ago. It feels like Keegan is on the team and picking himself.
Yeah.
What would you do, knowing what we know? Would you pick yourself?
It's too big of a distraction. I would never pick myself. I know how bad he wants it. It's way too big of a distraction. There's no chance. It'd be one thing if I was like the 7th and I almost qualified on points, but like, hey, I'm clearly, he's borderline. He's borderline right there. Like no one's saying Brian Harmon has to be on this team. He's kind of in the same boat. He's played well at points during this year. He had a definite valley, up until the last week or so. I don't think it's if it were another captain, he would definitely not be looked at as like a lock to make this team. And I think with the
I think he would 1,000%. I think he'd be a lock with all the same reasons he's the captain. All the narrative of Keegan wrongfully being left off.
I don't. I think you're blinded by the Boston colored glasses. It's 50.
No, I think he had 1,000. That's why they made him the captain.
It's 50. No, and I think he's likable. I don't know that he's a strong enough player consistently over the last 2 years to be like, this guy is. It was a nice run this summer, and some of these nice runs over the last, they don't always make the team. I think it'd be 50-50 if he wasn't. I think he definitely. I mean, just scroll down a little. I would absolutely.
The next group is
like young Cantlay Burns. All make it over. If he's not the captain, if I'm somebody else, I don't know, Gary Woodland's the captain, which obviously isn't. That is another point. That is the other point I wanted to bring up about the captaincy and whatnot. He has Gary Woodland, Jim Furyk, Kevin Kisner, Webb Simpson, and Brett Snedeker. It's not as if he doesn't have help in the coaching room. They have 5 or assistant captains too. But no, if it's me, if I'm Jim Furyk and I'm the captain, I'm taking JT, I'm taking Ben Griffin, I'm taking young Cantlay Burns and Mav. That's my 6.
I don't know how.
Keegan is the first one off. He's ahead of Harmon. He's ahead of Novak. He's ahead of anyone else. He's the first one off. But like, as far as I don't know. I looked at the numbers, and that's my team.
Yeah, there's no world in which I'm taking Mav McNeely, who won a
You know what I'm worried about with Keegan? Even as just a player, he's too geeked up for this shit. I honestly, I think
we want that. It's the Ryder Cup. We want that. I think running up and down, high-fiving dudes that plant.
I know, but I think he has too much pressure on himself. I think he's gonna flame the fuck out. For America's sake, I hope I'm wrong because I think he's gonna pick himself. I think he's gonna play extremely poorly because it's been 4 years. It's the guy who hasn't had a girlfriend for 4 years. And night one, it's 3 seconds, man. He's got too much pent up Ryder Cup aggression right now. I don't know how it's going to go.
He thought that heading into last week, and then he went out and T5s. Right,
preferred lies.
There's no way in any that I'm taking. Again, scenario is different. Tiger's the captain. That Tiger should take Mav McNeely or Sam Burns over Keegan. Mav McNeely won a swing season event. Burns hasn't won anything in a long time. He's barely contended. Finally, a little bit this year towards the summer. Mav's popped a few times here and there. Keegan's won, he's won a BMW last year. Top 50 players. He won a Travelers, another signature.
I think it's. I'm not saying it's like a lock that I'm not taking, but I'm just saying it's kind of a Mav, Keegan, and Burns. It's a toss up. It's not like. For me, it's not just like Keegan's on this team no matter what. He's very much borderline still.
Yeah,
I think you're kind of looking at match. You're kind of looking at that point. It's not just about who's played well in individual events over the last 2 years. You're looking at who's going to pair up with each other for foursomes.
I agree. That's how the Europeans look at it. That's not historically how our team is looked at.
I think that's a problem because
it is a problem, but we're still here, right? It's still merit based
because of that. It's so silly. Like, oh, you won an event, a solo event. Well, this isn't a solo event. You're playing foursomes, and Luke Donald's using all these analytics and everything to figure out it was very. There's no way a U.S. captain would have picked Ludwig Abear last year.
Correct.
We just do not do that sort of thing where, hey, this guy hasn't played enough golf.
So you're saying Jackson Koiven should be in instead of?
No, we don't have a Ludwig Abear ready, but I'm just saying that
that's
that that was unexpected. Yeah, my God, maybe in 2 years. Christ, he
Oh
is
no,
very
2 years
good.
he's on the team. He better
Yeah.
you get him. You know. Well, I mean, the thought process with Ludwig made sense, and same thing with Højgaard. It was like, bring him to a home game, let him get a feel for it before you take him on the road first. But like, if just Koivu and Clanton just have stones and then show up and like just play really good golf for the next 2 years, you get him a President's Cup run next year at Medina for a team event stateside.
Well, and he's done Arnold Palmer Cup. He's done Junior President's Cup. He's on the Walker Cup team. Like those guys that are just legit at that age, they've played a bunch of team events.
Sure.
It's just there's nothing like this one. The pressure of this
for
one.
For sure. So
getting screamed at by a bunch of guys from Staten Island.
Yeah, I'm with you. I do think that all the drumbeat is pretty loud at this point. Keegan's going to be on the team. I'd be surprised. So to me, I'm locking in JT. You comfortable locking in JT?
Yeah. So for my money, locking in JT, locking in Keegan because he's going to pick himself because he's selfish. I'm locking in Patrick Cantlay 100%.
Yep,
he's played well enough, and he is despite he's like Patrick Reedish. You need that dickhead who's just going to go out there and when the money's big. I know the money's not big, but the money exists this time, so maybe he'll play even better. So I'm at 9, and then it gets squirrely from there. Like then you have the questions about.
I think I got one more lock. I cannot see Cam Young not being on this team.
Yeah, so I would of the next 3. I'm like 80% sure it's Cam Young is making this team. And then like the next most likely is probably Colin. And if I'm making it, I'm not taking him. I love Colin. Agreed. I've loved him since he's played, but he's a very big liability in the short game right now. And Rory's not going to tell him to pick any balls up. Like you're going to have to put everything out. And it's been a little suspect of late. So Colin, he might make this team, but I wouldn't pick him. So, and then that 12th spot is tricky. That 12th spot is like that
is 12, right? I mean, that comes down to,
I think it's Griffin, man. Yeah. I like Griffin to come.
I like Griffin. So it's Griffin or Morikawa or Burns, right? So like we locked in JT, we locked in Cantlay, we locked in Young, we locked in Key, and that's 10. So then you basically have Griffin, Morikawa, Burns. Would you say that's the next 3?
Maybe Mav is in that conversation. I think he's below Burns. It's like 4 guys for 2 spots. Colin is, the pedigree. He's played in the bigger events. He has some major wins, but it's just not playing good golf. And I think that
about how his irons are lost.
I think that bumps him down. Like of those guys, it's like give me Young and Griffin.
When Keegan said some guys that think they're going to be on the team are going to get a call to find out they're not on the team.
That made me worried about Ben Griffin for some reason.
Yeah. So there's talk that, again, the no laying up guys, multiple, it sounded like from different sources we're hearing that Ben Griffin was, maybe going to be left off. I think that is an egregious mistake. I just want to put that out there. I think Ben Griffin not being on this team is relying a little maybe too much on name value, pedigree coming into the season. And I think that's a mistake. Ben Griffin has done nothing but show up and play really good golf. He's a really good course fit. Doesn't really have a hole in his game right now. The driver can get a little wonky, but he's at a distance. I don't know. I think Ben Griffin should be on the team. To me, it should be Morikawa or Burns if Keegan's on the team. And I think we would both agree that Keegan's on the team. So, and I would take Burns because I think Burns, again, distance and putting. I think Morikawa should be left home. I think Mav is a nice story, but Mav to me is further back. He's comfortably the last in that discussion. I think you would take.
I don't know. I put Morikawa behind Burns or Mav right now for my money.
Yeah. So
if you're just like, who's going to win matches for us? I would put Maverick McNeely on the team before I put Colin Morikawa. And all respect to a dude that's won a bunch and has played really well over the course of his 5-year career here, but it's just not right now, man.
That to me though is
you had the last 4 weeks to you had the last 4 weeks to solve something. It looked like a little bit he was going to play okay this week, but
even that the Mav Morikawa discussion is 13 and 14 to me. It's not even 11 and 12.
No,
right? He's on the team.
Exactly.
Right. So
give me Burnsy, give me Griffin.
Yeah. So I agree with that. So it would be JT, Cantley, Griffin, Young, Keegan, Burns. So no Morikawa, no Mav. I think we all agree, Novak got her up. Harman didn't really do enough down the stretch.
How is Harman that high in points?
Playing all the time. Good finish at the
FedEx Cup. He does play a lot.
Did win. He had to win.
Yeah.
Didn't he have a strong showing?
Not a great course fit, though.
No, I wouldn't want Brian Harman on the team.
I don't think you can have a guy who gets it done when, distance is probably going to matter.
Yeah, this is the thing, though, is like Russ, he hits it further than Russ does, but Henley's better basically everything else.
Yeah, right? I take Russ's long irons. You put those two balls in the fairway, then Russ is 10 yards back. Like, I don't care. Like, better irons player, better everything from there on out.
Yeah, better short game, better everything. And we don't have to watch him, so he's aesthetically better to be on TV.
Yeah, because we could have ended up with like a Harman Cantlay pairing. At that point, I'm turning off the Ryder Cup. I love this, but I don't know if I can watch this today.
Yeah, what a nightmare! I've been drooling to watch the Ryder Cup, and you send out Cantley Harman, and they'll be like, "Oh my gosh!"
I was joking with some guys in the golf chat about. I'm like, how do you think this VP of NBC that decided to put, the last 9 holes will be commercial free, and then they see Cantlay waggling over the ball for 3.5 minutes? Like, this guy, I'm fired. We've just lost 1.5 billion in ad revenue today.
It's like a cat. Like cats will do this before they lay down on something. They'll just like pat it with their paws for a solid 35 minutes. That's Patrick Cantlay with his feet standing over the ball. He doesn't do like the Harman waggle with his head. Like,
no, he just he does the penguin. Over and over. Gosh, he does. Cantlay does aim point with his drives. It's just like, I'm not sure what he's doing, but he's on this damn team. And
look, so yes,
it'd be funny if they just don't give him a hat. Like he gets all his gear and he doesn't have a hat. Where's my hat? Oh, we didn't get you one, you asshole.
I am fully aware of my Keegan bias, but I don't think I'm seeing it through that lens here.
No, I pushed you a little harder than I meant. Like just because I knew you'd get worked up. Like Keegan is, I think in a lot of cases he is your 12th. Like even if he's not the captain, I think it's just closer between him and some of the other guys than you're making it out to be.
Yeah, but I think also we have all the narratives that put him in the spot to be the captain would still be at play hypothetically, right? Like he wasn't the captain. Now we have Keegan being in the mix again, like strong showing, won a playoff event last year, won a Siggy this year, played really good golf, and you're gonna leave him off again for Ben Griffin, who's never done, you know what I mean? Like that would never, like you wouldn't, that would be a story that would not be happening. How could you possibly put him on? Cantlay hasn't won anything forever. Burns hasn't won anything forever. Keegan's won a couple times. We're gonna leave him off. That's
what I say. I don't give a shit about winning events.
I know. I'm just saying
that's what I'm saying. Like Cantlay hasn't won in 2.5 years. Doesn't matter. I want him on the team.
3 full at this point. Kings Valley.
I want to kill her. I want to kill her on.
No, I agree. Cantley's on the team. Yeah, I'm just saying
that's what I'm saying. That's why the wins for Keegan don't hold as much weight. Like wins are great. You got to have wins if you want to be even in this conversation. I guess you really don't, because Colin and Patrick are in this conversation. But
yeah,
for me, I want my best 12. I want my best 12 team players.
Yeah. I just think
that's what England. That's what that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing in Europe.
To be able to think about the positive outcome here, if you're Keegan, you pick yourself, you play, right? You cross, that threshold, finally get back out there as a player. You're also playing captain, first playing captain for Ryder Cup since Arnie in '63.
Palmer.
right?
Yeah.
And just again, different than the President's Cup, Tiger thing, down in Australia. Like, I guess, no disrespect to the international team, but it's a different animal here for sure. In New York, went to St. John's, played this course. Like, just from a Keegan historically, what an alpha moment for him to be like, you know what? People said I shouldn't do this. I did it. I went out, and even if he goes, I don't know, 1-1-1 in his matches, because he probably plays, he plays singles. Obviously, he's going to play, he's not going to send himself out 5 days, but
no, I think he sends himself both afternoons.
Yeah. So he plays, best ball both times.
Somebody had a take about the 4-ball too. How we, the host gets to decide the order of the first 2 days. And somebody's like, well, why would you do it this way? Like, I don't know that it matters a lot. Like, there's some differences, and we might be a little stronger in one than the other, but I don't know if the psychological boost of playing your better event in the morning is going to be enough. I don't know how deeply they think about what the order is. Honestly.
I think they think deeply about the order. I think they think deeply about your first 2 pairings, especially. That's
what I'm saying. I think you think way more about the first guys that are going out than you worry about 4-ball versus foursome, because it isn't really when you play them. It is making sure we get the right guys in the right order here and the right pairings to beat these teams.
There has been a trend of the last, handful of Ryder Cups that, alternate shot has gone significantly better for the home team. So just when you're looking
I don't think that's prescriptive, though.
That's probably fair. That could be fair.
That's what the person on Twitter said. I won't identify them as a complete idiot. We'll just call him, Brian K as a pseudonym.
Yeah, so complete idiots log in and tweet things off all the time.
No, but I mean, I get it. Like, the home teams, I think that's just the home team playing as the home team, where they've had the advantage of setting up the course and playing it more. Honestly, I don't know that it matters what event is in the morning. I feel like the home team is usually just going to come out a little stronger to start with. So I would put my weaker event in the morning, and just take advantage of coming out strong in that, and then you play your stronger event in the afternoon. If it is probably alternate shot for us, I think, and try to avoid what happened in fucking 2 years ago. My God, I woke up. Oh boy. I mean, I'd bet on Europe, so I was like, oh boy. But they, was it 4-0?
4-0.
Yeah. Can't have that.
No, cannot have that. So it'd be fascinating to see how they start. Again, a lot of pressure goes on these decisions at the back end. The reality is, this comes down to Scotty playing 5 times. Does he show up in a different way than he showed up in Rome? He seemed to care about not playing his best golf, because we sent out Brooks and Scotty, and they got absolutely boat raced.
It's kind of the beginning of the end for Brooks, though.
Yeah, for sure. The fact that we don't have Brooks is not even in the discussion. Spieth at this point, not even in the discussion. It's kind of wild. It's we talked about this.
If we'd have done this show in February, JT, Colin, and Spieth would have been in pen. Correct. As if these guys aren't qualified on points, they're on the team. I think Cantlay too. So it's wild, because I don't think there's a world where we would have put JJ Spawn. How far down would we have go? I want to list my top 25. I think maybe Spawn's in that list, but
I don't think so.
No, God, at the beginning of the year, he was probably your 50th ranked guy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You would not think Spawn or Ben
crazy
Griffin
or
got her up. Yeah.
Oh, got her up being in the discussion. Yeah. I mean, I was a got up guy.
Yeah, no. So yeah, it's, again, we've touched on this too. Some of the younger Americans that you thought would maybe emerge, that could have been like an Akshay, some guys that you thought, oh, why didn't we take Akshay to the President's Cup? Everyone was, some people were mad about that. We just didn't have the young, like a Thor or someone that would just young pedigree American that really would emerge and start to make his way in there. So he got her up, Berger coming back from injury. Finau's been a staple on some of these teams the last, decade or so. Ricky, rightfully so.
Ricky had diarrhea last time.
Yeah. But I mean, let's start to look at this, back end here. Again, Davis Thompson was another guy that you thought maybe he could ascend and take a step forward. Maybe should have been on the President's Cup team or be considered. Homo was probably our best player in Rome.
Oh my God. That's wild. Like how
same thing. Thigala was on the President's Cup team last year. Yeah. And just nothing. Right. So we had all these guys that like were kind of back end. And
at the beginning of the year, Homo would have been in our top 15.
1,000%. Zalatoris injured out. Like
we would have mentioned Homo as like a borderline guy. He didn't play very well this year, though. I don't think.
Did not. I think he's going to find it again, though. But yeah, so I think we're in agreement. Our U.S. team, we have our 6. The 6 captains picks for us are JT, Cantley, Cam Young, Keegan puts himself on, and then Ben Griffin and Sam Burns. We are leaving Colin Morikawa home.
Leaving him home. Go back to Kelly.
And I also don't think, again, this might not be fair, and I don't want to like assassinate his character, but I don't think, and maybe he says the right stuff after the fact, but does it seem like a rah USA guy? Like I feel like he's going to be like upset and feel like he was done dirty. His quote was, he feels like he should be on the team, feels like he's earned it, feels like he could be a help. He also sounded like these things can jumpstart you when you feel like you're not playing really good golf. You get around the guys, just the mindset changes and it like helps get me ready for heading into the start of the new year. And we've actually seen him play pretty well in the start of the year. So I think there probably is something to that. So I'll be interested to see how that affects.
You know what he needs to do? He needs to go to the event and like hang out with the team and cheer him on and get his head right. Be like, this is what I want to be doing this in 2 years. Sulking in Salinas ain't going to help you.
Yeah.
I don't think he actually lives there. I just wanted some alliteration. So, all right. Well, we got our teams. I have bet some Europe a couple times at plus 140.
Same.
As I've mentioned numerous times. I don't think there's some lock to win this. It's very hard to do on foreign soil. It's just this is a very close matchup, I believe, between these two teams, which I hope. I loved cashing some alt spreads on Europe last time around, but it was kind of a trash cup. It was from the get-go. It's like, oh, they're just going to get the shit kicked out of them. This isn't great. And Zach is just way over his horse here. He doesn't know what he's doing. Like, I would love 3 matches left, and it is very much, there's a scenario where we have to do this because they can just retain with a tie. Like somebody has to get it done, and it's really close coming right down to it. That'd be awesome.
You just need Sunday singles.
I think that's what we're going to get.
Yeah,
Sunday singles mattering is the best.
Yeah, that just didn't really happen last year.
No, we needed to win like 9 to retain. Man, it was horrid.
Yeah. So I think that this Ben Griffin talk is a mistake if Ben Griffin's left home. I would even make the case that in this instance, Keegan taking himself over Ben Griffin would be, something that would be fair to be questioned in hindsight. I mean, this is going to be so much hindsight analysis anyway, but like knowing that all the pressure involved, knowing that how badly the European team would love Keegan to play, every opportunity that anyone on the Euro side has had over the last couple of months to get a microphone in their face and get their opinion on it. It's just like never. I would never do it. It would never be something we would consider. Makes it sound like the Euros really want Keegan to play, which I think is kind of fascinating. It's like a football thing. Do you want the team to go for it on 4th or to kick the field goal? And it's like, we're doing the thing that they want us to do. Like, oh, we're kicking the field goal. But I think he should pick himself over Colin Morikawa. And I think it could be is like cool of a story and a thing that you could do for yourself historically outside of winning a major. I mean, not just winning a Ryder Cup, but being like an active playing captain is just so badass. The downside is bad, but man, the upside I think is just.
I'm going to drag people who aren't like balls deep in gambling Twitter are going to have to just go figure this out, but it's like the GRP thing, how he's gone tout and he's going to sell picks. Somebody else posted this, and this is what I had this conversation with someone in Vegas, said it's only funny if he goes like 70% on the year or 30%. Like him, just the fat part of the bell curve where he just like I won, 0.2 units or I lost 1.5 units. That's not funny. Like cash or ash, it has to be one or the other. And I think that's from a narrative standpoint, not betting aside, jingoism and nationalism aside. It's only going to be awesome if Keegan's like great. And then it's like this FU moment. Look what I did. And I put myself there and I won it for us. Or if he's like 0-4 and he's sobbing on the podium and I've made it, he's full bluth. I've made a huge mistake and he has to like apologize after it. Like those are the two true outcomes. I want to see one of those. If he's 1-1-1, I'm going to be very disappointed, honestly. And again, it's the most likely outcome, but I need one of those two extremes because they're both great. It's either he's running around holding a flag, screaming, being just ridiculous, or he's crying on a podium. I need one of those. I know which one you'd prefer, but I'll take.
You know which one I'd prefer. Very much prefer one of those over the other. I just don't think there's enough guys out there these days that are. Media. Yeah, I just don't like. I think he's been as transparent as he can be throughout this process. I love that he gives a shit. It's gonna be awesome. I cannot wait to watch tomorrow. Again, 11 a.m. Eastern on the Golf Channel. He will be announcing. I wonder if we get some leaks today because again, these phone calls have either been made or will be obviously being made today. So it's going to be pretty fascinating to see how this transpires. And again, the European reaction will be strong either way. And then we have to wait a week. We get them on the other side of, the last DP World Tour event this week, and then they have to lock in. But again, as we discussed, I feel like that's already locked in.
I haven't seen Ryder Cup like to make the team futures on my offshores. Maybe I think somebody did post something. But
DK had some stuff that was unbettable, literally unbettable price wise, and they took like pocket change. So it was. I
remember Bovada was taking a few $100 on basically anybody. I think it was $250 to win whatever on guys last time because I'd taken some Luda. And I remember it was like Labor Day weekend. I was at a buddy's house back home. Like, hey, we got to put on the Ryder Cup press conference. What? Why? I got to see if this kid makes it. Like, it matters to me. So, all right. We'll be back in a couple weeks. We'll probably take next week off, which is very good timing because I'm going to be extremely busy getting ready for the first week of the NFL. But we'll be back for the Pro Core. And we'll talk some Pro Core.
Should be loaded fields. I think Keegan wants his whole team here.
Keegan bringing everybody but Bryson, it does help the field out a lot. So it's going to be a good event. And we'll talk about that. We'll do more Ryder Cup content after that. And then, every swing season event, we'll do some podcasts. We'll do some betting. I'm going to bet on them all, guys.
Yep.
So if you can, hit the thumbs up. If you listen in podcast form, 5-star review. I mean, just write golf good. I don't care what you write. Just put 5 stars. That would be awesome as well. And we'll catch you in 2 weeks.